now we have to talk about what other things do we have to know in order to select a method, right? Our job here is to identify which method we're going to use to inspect your parts, right? So we will typically ask clients, tell us about the material, tell us about conditions. Are we testing a piece part? Can we get the part in an immersion tank, or can we not get it in an immersion tank? Do we have access to both sides of the part? These sorts of things. What kind of flaws are we looking for? What do you know about the flaws that you're having? We want to ask all of these questions because they guide us toward which methods are appropriate and which methods are not. So by way of example, let's take a look at some specific flaw shapes and locations. So the gray image represents the cross-section of a part. The blue stripe you see is a flaw. And so this is a linear flaw, and it's surface breaking, meaning it opens to the surface of the part. And it's oriented, in this case, perpendicular to the surface of the part. All these things are germane to which method will work and which method will not. So if we walk down the slide and look at the different methods, I want to talk about which method can find this flaw and which method can't. So if you look at penetrant, mag particle, eddy current, all of these are ideal applications for this sort of flaw. Eddy current, it's surface breaking. Penetrant, mag particle, it's surface breaking. There's a star next to mag particle. Why? It has to be magnetic. If it's a plastic part, mag particle can't find this. Penetrant can, eddy current. If it's conductive, can. If it's not a conductive material, eddy current's out. UT and AT, we say that they're well suited, but one notch below ideal. Visual testing, I say, is unlikely to detect this flaw. Wait, it's surface breaking. Can I see it? Well, A, if I'm awake and paying attention, and B, if it's large enough. And neither of those is certain. So we have to regard visual testing as being unlikely to find this. It's a linear flaw, not a volumetric flaw. Here's a volumetric flaw. Now we say visual. If there is such a thing as an ideal application for visual inspection, it's this. We want a big, ugly, nasty booger on the surface of the part. We got a shot at finding that with vision. Okay, it's about the only chance we have of finding something with vision. For all of the other applications, because it's volumetric, because it's so obvious, it is an ideal application for pretty much all of the disciplines. Now we have a near surface linear, perpendicular to the surface, but not breaking to the surface. You notice it's not open all the way to the surface. So which techniques? Well, ET and AT, it's ideal. It's near enough to the surface that we can hope to find it with eddy current. We can penetrate with a magnetic field deeply enough to set up those eddy currents. We can measure those, and we can probably find this, assuming it's a conductive material. With acoustic, we'll absolutely find this. With mag particle, maybe, depending on what material, depending on how far away. Okay? We get very sensitive once we're not surface breaking anymore. With UT, it's well suited. Radiography, because it's not volumetric, it's hard to see. Think about the beams of X-ray entering the part. You're looking at the end of a sheet of paper. Now think back to the scale that we had on the slide. It's going to be hard to find that with X-ray. Okay, that's the issue here. With vision and penetrant, you won't find this. All right, so near surface linear, again, you can see which ones are going to detect it and which ones are not. I'm going to let you do this one. So now we have a volumetric flaw. It's near surface, not surface breaking. Somebody shout out a technique you think will find this. Can we find this with vision? No, can't see it. Can we find it with penetrant? Nope, not surface breaking, right? Okay, can we find it with X-ray? Probably can. It's pretty much an ideal application for X-ray. How about ultrasonic? Yeah, right in the wheelhouse for ultrasonic. How about acoustic resonance? Yeah, okay, you guys are getting this. Okay, there you go. So ideal for ultrasonic, eddy current, acoustic, X-ray. Not so ideal for mag particle, and you're not going to find it with vision and penetrant. So now you guys kind of get the gist. I'm just going to kind of move through these a little more quickly. Here's a deeply subsurface volumetric. Same deal. If you can orient the part, correct. If you can orient the part, then you can move from this to this, right? But but there's still the stipulation about we like volumetric flaws much better than we like planar flaws or linear flaws, right? But you're right. Indeed. And then it becomes about access, right? How about this guy, guys? Deeply subsurface volumetric. X-ray, yay or nay? Yeah. How about ultrasonic? Yeah. Penetrant? No. Eddy current? Too far away from the surface. Mag particle? Too far away from the surface. Okay, you guys got it. So here is the gist of it. If you look at this slide, look at the legend. So down the left-hand side, you see the different types of flaws and locations of flaws. Across the top, you see the various disciplines. Green and yellow color, ideal or well-suited. Gray color, can't detect that type of flaw with that technique. And orange color, which is supposed to be red, not well-suited. So if you do what we do, which is mass production sorting, you conclude very quickly that these three techniques, eddy current, ultrasonic, acoustic, are the real workhorses for high-volume flaw detection. They're very versatile. They find lots of different types of flaws in lots of different locations, and these are our workhorses. And so these are the techniques. One of these or a combination of these almost always is what we're using at AMS to do high-volume flaw detection.